Alright, so now let's continue our discussion about functions, and now it's time to look at what is called function overloading. And let's say that I want here to pass not two integer types but two doubles to be compared. So let's say that I type here 6.5 and 9.6. Now this will not work because we define here explicitly that the parameters are of type int, so we cannot pass here double. And a solution to this, it may be to create another function with a different name and to define the parameters as doubles. But that does not make a lot of sense because we are doing the exact same thing. So it does not make sense to create a function with a different name. So what we can do instead is to, let's change this back to integers, is to duplicate this getMax function, and to do that you can press Ctrl D or command line on Mac. So I'm going to press Ctrl D here. Now what I can do is change the types of the variables. So I can put here, instead of integer, I put double, and here I can put also double. Let's add a space to make things more clear. Now if I pass here, let's say 5.6 and 9.7, now you see that we have no error. So if you run this code, alright, so we get in the output 9.7, and this is correct. This is bigger than 5.6, but now it's using the second function, which is the function which has the parameters as of type double. And you can see that this function now, which is using the parameters as integers, is gray out because the compiler can figure out what function to use by the argument types we pass here. So in this case we pass here doubles, and it knows that it has to use this function which has the types, which has the parameters defined as type of double, right? Another way to overload a function is to, let's also press Ctrl D, is by changing the number of parameters. So I can put here, let's say also integer, also initial. Let's pass the third parameter now, and this is also going to be an integer. It's going to be called C. It's going to be of type int. Alright, now let's change this logic to an if statement. So let's delete the if expression. Let's put the curly braces. Alright, so let's change this now. So you can type it here now if A greater than equal to B and A is greater than equal to C, then I'm going to return A. So now we're using the return keyword. Else if, now we're putting here an else if B is greater than equal to A and B is greater than equal to C, then return B. Else C is gonna be the bigger value, so put here return C. Alright, let's press Ctrl Alt return B here. Right, so I need to put here the type. This way I get that error. Right now everything is okay. Oh, so from here is the problem. Right, so now if you run this code, let's change this to, let's say 5, 7 and 10. Now if you run this code, you see that the two functions above are gray out. And now it's going to use the third one, which has third parameters. Alright, so we get in the output 10, which is correct. So if you change this to test, let's say we put here 100, let's put here 3, and if you run this code, now we get 100, and this is correct. Alright, so this is our discussion about function overloading, and you can use function overloading every time you know that you will do the same task but with different type of parameters or with a different number of parameters. Also, you may have noticed that we have an underline over the if statement. So if you hover over here, it says that the return can be lifted out of if. So if you click this, you can write it in this way, or we can keep it in the previous way. But because this is underline, that means that Kotlin recommends to use it in this way. So see you in the next video. We're going to talk about default parameters.